Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome in if you are new here. I would love to have you subscribe and join us here on my channel. Today I'm going to be walking through this fall bridal look, and this video is part of a series of bridal videos, so I will go ahead and add that playlist down below so that you can check them out. And the first video in that series, which is my DIY classic bride tutorial, has all of the details about my thinking behind choosing certain products and why I apply them a certain way when I know it's going to be a wedding day where I want it to look great on camera and last all day. So I'm not going to get into all of those nitty-gritty details in this video, but if you're curious, go ahead and check that one out. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so starting with eyes for this bridal look, you can see I already have one side done, so follow along and we'll finish up this eye to match. And today I'm using the Going Coconuts palette from ColourPop, and I'm going to start with this color up here, Culotta. It's just a nice mid-tone brown for my skin tone, and I'm going to go ahead and put that just right in the crease. I'm going to sweep it back and forth a few times and just blend that kind of up and out from my deepest crease in my eye, and going in with just another layer here, building up in really small layers, just thin layers over and over until I get the shade that I want. Then I grabbed a new brush and I'm going to go into Shell Yeah, which is just slightly deeper, and I'm just going to add this to the outer corner of my eye to start building up some depth there, and I'm going to drag that into my crease as well. And then to get this deeper outer corner here, I'm going to go into the shade Nutty, which is just the darkest brown in this palette. I'm going to really tap off the excess on my brush because it is a pretty dark shade for my skin tone, and I'm going to bring that in on the outer corner of my eye in sort of a V shape here, and I'm going to drag it upwards a little bit into my crease as well, but just barely. And I'm pretty happy with that for intensity for right now, so I'm just going to take the first brush I used. I don't have any extra product on here, and I'm just going to buff and blend all of these edges so there aren't any harsh lines, and everything just kind of flows seamlessly together from shade to shade. And for that pop of shimmer on the lid, I'm using this shade in the middle down here called Da Coco, and just patting that across my whole lid from the outer corner all the way in. And that shimmer did reduce the intensity of my outer corner a little bit, so I'm going to go back in with the shade Nutty and just kind of deepen that up a little bit more again and blend it in nicely with that shimmer so there again are no harsh lines. And then I'm just going to add a fairly thin layer of waterproof brown eyeliner. Mine is from L'Oreal. It's the Infallible Longwear eyeliner, but really any waterproof brown liner will work great. I am going to do mascara on this eye, my brows, and the false lashes off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, my brows are done, my lashes are on, and I will link down below in the description box a tutorial that I did on applying false lashes to yourself. So check that out if you're intimidated by false lashes. It's really not as hard as it seems. Moving into complexion, today I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This has great staying power and looks beautiful underneath of my foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and just blend that in with a small brush. Mine is from Real Techniques, but and it's actually an eyeshadow brush, but you can use any small brush like this. I'm going to go ahead and kind of clean up the edge of that eyeshadow as well with the concealer. And for foundation today, I'm using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, and I mix the shades R300 and Y355 for my skin tone. So I just pump a little bit of both of those on the back of my hand, and then I just kind of mix them together, and then I dot that all across my face. And this does dry down kind of fast, so I try to work fairly quickly. Oftentimes when I'm doing wedding makeup on myself or others, I will use a primer before my foundation. However, with this particular foundation, I find that it lasts all day, no problem, and I really don't need that primer, and so I skip it. And I'm just mixing up a little more here to add to my neck And I'm gonna also spread a little bit onto my ears just to make sure everything matches, particularly in photos. You want to make sure that you blend your foundation and any other complexion products down your neck and onto your ears so that you don't have drastically different colors going on across your body. And I just love this foundation because it blends out so seamlessly. It offers good medium coverage without looking cakey. It still absolutely looks like my skin, and you can see it's still dewy and glowy, but this will last all day. And today I'm using the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzing Stick in the shade Baked for my bronzer. So I do it on my cheekbones, I do along my hairline, a little bit down my nose, and then a little down my neck as well for the same reason as the foundation. Now that I'm done with cream products for my complexion, I'm gonna go ahead and just set my under eyes and my T-zone. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder, and I am in the shade 10 Fair Light. And this powder is really great. Again, it lays down flat. It will even your skin tone, but it will not look cakey, and that's key on your wedding day. On days when I want my highlighter to really look natural and lit from within, I do my highlighter before my blush. And today I'm using the Estate Baked Highlighting Loose Powder in Lit. And I just highlight my cheekbones. And I'm using a Real Techniques setting brush because it's one of my favorite brushes for highlighter. It lets me apply it really precisely and then diffuse it out really, really, really nicely. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a little highlighter down my nose, across the tip of my nose, and on my Cupid's bow as well. And then I also take it just down my temples so that in photos, the glow doesn't just stop at my cheeks. I still have it on the rest of my face as well. For fall blush, this third shade in the Milani Rose Powder Blush, and this is in the shade Flowers of Love. This third shade here is really beautiful. It's like a natural flushed pink, but it's a little deeper and smokier, and so it kind of gives you just a really nice fall cheek without looking too blushed. Complexion is done, but I have one more step, and that is to lock it all in with a setting spray. And I prefer this Urban Decay All Nighter. It makes a huge difference in the staying power of my makeup, and I highly recommend it on your wedding day. And then I take a barely damp sponge and I just press it all into my skin. Earlier when I did my brows off camera, I used the Essence Brow Designer in Blonde, and I am now gonna go ahead and lock that down with the NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel. So I just run this through my brows and make sure all of the hairs are laying where I want them to stay throughout the day. I have 3 favorite lipstick products for fall brides. And the first is from Real Her, and it's their lipstick in the shade Girl Power. So it's this top shade here, and it's really just a nice, deeper pink tone. So if you're kind of a classic bride and you still want pink on your wedding day, but you want something a little more fall, that's a great choice. My second option here is the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Dance Fever. That is that second shade here, so much more brown toned lip, which is very popular for fall. And then last but not least is the NYX Slip Tease Lip Oil in the shade Bang Bang, and that is the bottom color right here, so a little more plummy, purpley, vampy, so if you want to go that route for your wedding in the fall, that would look beautiful as well. And today I'm going to do kind of a combination of the top 2 here, so the NARS and the Real Her. So I'm going to go in with the NARS just kind of on the edges here to add some definition. And then I'm going to use my finger to blend that in. And then because I really want this pink to show through, I'm going to put it on top on my whole lip. And that's the final look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today, and if you did, please check out my other bridal videos in the series in the playlist linked down below. And please consider subscribing to my channel as well. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.